What's up, Gemini? This is Jesse with 44 Astro with a general new moon tarot reading for the new moon coming up on 1/1/1, January 11th. That's an activation. You know, the 1/1/1 represents the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. I always say that it's a quaternity because the feminine aspect needs to be acknowledged because it is part of everything. And you could argue that the Holy Spirit aspect is the feminine or the mother. Or you could just say it's a quaternity. And in occult studies, I believe it is a quaternity, and Carl Jung believes it's a quaternity too. But anyway, it's going to be at 20 degrees Capricorn. It's going to be at 6:57 a.m. It's going to be in the 23rd mansion of the moon. I'm going to put a picture up. This is all about freedom. Ooh, right there. This is all about freedom, Gemini. It's a very interesting moon, and there's actually really good astrology support. The sun is going to be sitting directly on the moon, like zero orb, exact conjunction. And it's going to be trine Uranus. And Uranus is about change. This is about making practical change, or it could be like some new idea, you know, because Uranus can represent like new ideas. And it could be an idea within you, which is your moon, mind, and then the sun bringing it out forth. And what house that would be in for you, Gemini, ascendants, will be 7th or 8th. So this could be like, it could be ideal on like spiritual practice, like occult practices. You may be approaching that differently. 7th house, of course, is the house of your spouse, your one-on-one relationship specifically. So it could be you're making practical changes in that. And these changes are going to be good changes. It could be decided to separate from someone, like a change. But the astrology is good for it, and so is the mansion of the moon. There's also what you call a minor grand trine between Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn, and those are all in harmonious aspects. So you're talking about growth, like. It's very supportive right now for change and growth. And it's a new year, so it's the time for it. Anyway, the card that you got is step out of your comfort zone. I mean, this is the time to do it. If you're going to step out of your comfort zone and make those kind of changes, this is the time. It's supported really well. Like I said, I mean, I wouldn't say that this is a good time to get into a new relationship. This mansion, I mean, it's like I said, the moon's only in, the sign for a little time, so a couple days you'll be fine. But I wouldn't jump into a relationship around the 10th or the 11th. If you meet someone, kind of put it off. Oh, right there. But all the astrology is really really positive. But it's really about freedom and change. Your current question is about probably some of you may be in a relationship with an earth sign. That's all I'm saying. That seems to be the question. It seems to be about freedom. I mean, you can't make this shit up. I mean, like, pardon my French. But the astrology supports it, and the tarot cards are like, yes, this is what's going to happen. It could just be something you're chained to in general, or some of you have, like, a Taurus in your chart. You could be cusp Taurus, Gemini, or you have it as, like, ascendant or moon or, like, a stellium and anything like that. Got a celebration going on here. Oof. In the recent past, I mean, you got the marriage card here, or the Hierophant card. I mean, this could be a business, like a big company you worked for. It could be in the recent past, you may have quit that job, or you might decide to move on. Could be like a church. Maybe you left a church, a school, anything like that, major. In this, any kind of major, large group or institution, or even you change your spiritual practice, right? Because this represents that too. But like I said, the current situation, you have, this individual, which can be you, male or female, but it's probably an earth sign, or it's something that you've been nurturing. Either way, you felt chained to it, whether it's a relationship. And most likely, the most obvious translation is going to be that you felt chained to this relationship or to this person. Doesn't necessarily mean we're like a love relationship. It could be like a job. Like I said, if you left a job, you might have some earth sign that you kind of felt chained to it. Like, or you felt chained to how you made money, and she's holding that money or that coin. And you're like, yo, this is not my jam anymore. And, it's saying step out of your comfort zone. So it's either walk away from the relationship kind of thing, or walk away from that job kind of thing, because you're feeling chained to it. Like, that's what's keeping you from feeling like this. Or it's you're chained to this person, or you feel that way. In the near future is going to be some kind of disappointment. But if you look, there's 2 cups in the back that are full, which means there are opportunities there, multiple opportunities. And stepping out of your comfort zone can make this kind of energy feel that way. But I mean, if you look up here, man, you're looking good up here. So this is some kind of change that's going to be coming in. Like I said, it's a good time for it. Like the astrology is really good for it, for growth, practical growth, especially with Capricorn being involved. But with Uranus there, it could be like suddenly happening, but it's definitely, Uranus also represents change and the future, as to where Capricorn and Saturn kind of represent the past or like delays. It represents structure, discipline, that's those types of things. So it's a good time for it, right? You know, in your conscious influence, it looks like you've planted a lot of seeds. Like you have your iron in many fires, or many irons in many fires, which is good, because I'm the same way. I always have all kinds of different opportunities, chances anyway. Like I'm putting a lot out there to try to have, you know, for even just one of them to take off, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Or the opportunity to come, and that's a good way to be. And Gemini is mutable energy, which means it's moving. Mutable air is moving air. So you're like, you know, it's good to have a lot of interest. Geminis generally do have lots of interests. Very artistic too. You know, this is your unconscious influence. This is a good unconscious influence, right? This is opulence. This is Venus. It's beauty. It could be art, like I said. You could be very artistic. It's a good influence to have around you. It's going to be unconscious, but that means that's what's around you influencing you. Beauty and art. And then maybe that's the steps you're taking. You're stepping out of your comfort zone. You're like, screw this 9-to-5 grind. I'm going to create something that I like art, or, you know, whatever art is to you, whether it's writing, painting, music, you know, whatever. It's a good time. Good time to take that change. Make that change. This is you right now. Feeling, maybe you feel like a young air sign. You feel young again. You feel invigorated. Like these new ideas. You're like, I'm making this change, and you feel optimistic about the future, like a child again. Definitely could be, or you have an air sign child. Definitely could be the case. And then, you know, your current environment, Emperor. So this could be a boss, like I said. Could be a boss around you that you are trying to, like this person that you're chained to. This earth sign individual could actually be an Aries that you're feeling chained to in some way, or a boss that's an Aries, right? Or just some kind of individual that you have a relationship that you, for some reason, you feel chained to and they're oppressive. Or this is your energy. Like you said, you got that childlike wonder again. You're like, I'm taking control. I'm doing what I want to do. And that's good energy if that's what you're doing. But it is your exterior environment, so most likely it's someone around you. Helping or hindering you. You may be getting lucky with money in some way, and this gives you the opportunity to make this change. You may get some kind of windfall of money in some way. I don't know how. There's all kinds of ways money can come to people. All kinds of ways. Inheritances, lottery, whatever. Gambling. Money can come all kinds of ways. Like some kind of tax check, or some kind of property thing that's like, oh, you paid us too much, here's some money. You know what I mean? Or something like that. Because all kinds of ways money can come to people. Like a lawsuit. Anything like this. And, you know, behind you, this could be court. So maybe it could be some kind of lawsuit or situation. Maybe you felt like it wasn't going to pay off. And then it did. Anyway. Because, you know, boom. Outcome. Victory. Moving forward. Maybe you get a new car. Maybe you're traveling. Something like that. It can represent all those things. New car. It could be travel. And maybe that's out of the comfort zone. Maybe you have to move away. And that's why you have to leave your job and everything. You're like, you know what? Or maybe you're transferring. Maybe you can transfer your job. So you do get away from this individual or whatever. Or maybe you decide that if it is a relationship, that you're moving away from it. Could be any of those things. It could just be being victorious. Like whatever this is going to take off for you. Which is nice. Whatever this change is coming is good. And profitable. I think you're going to have some kind of leg up that's going to give you the ability. Like you're going to be like, wow. So if I want to leave now, I can. Like some kind of windfall of money or some way. Or maybe like you leave your job and you get some kind of like severance package or something like that. Or the way you end up leaving your job ends up in your advantage, and they have to like pay you unemployment for a long time or something like that. Or pay you out. But that'd be awesome. Either way, Gemini, that's all I have. Please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. It does help the algorithm, especially the comments, I think. And I'll respond, I promise. Whether it's just a thumbs up or actual response, I try to actually respond if I can. Either way, this looks like good energy for you. I know this card looks scary in the middle, but it's not really scary. It's just crossing your current situation, right? You're gonna have to go through this a little bit, and then you're gonna get to this, which is nice. All right, that's all I have. Hope to see you here again, Gemini, and Happy New Year.